Do I have any trinkets worth equipping? She is working on Lore Imperium, so we can give her that. Less expensive reload is probably cool. Okay. Her first one is free, but still. And then we could... That'll never happen with him, so we'll just do this. It's better to have something than nothing at all, so... his agility is at 40, but it states that it needs to be more than 40 to get the bonuses, so... just do this. He loses dodge, but in exchange gets a little bit more armor. I don't know if that's a worthy trade, but it should be enough for what's coming next. Power sword. And the axe. Which reminds me, I did buy an axe that's kind of better than his, right? Yeah. Okay. I believe that's it. Yeah, we could exit now and start working on Draconis. And try not to forget the secret ending puzzle there. I already wrote the solution on the side here, because my first playthrough, it was a lot of trial and error to get to the right answer. And every time you do a wrong thing, there's a cutscene that's annoying to skip. So, in order not to waste anyone's time, including my own, I'm just going to look at the notes once we're there. Anything I'm missing before we jump in Draconis? Cache. Inspect the fuel lever on the ship's bridge. Okay. Is the lever near the cogitator, or is it somewhere here on the side? Uh-huh. Alright. Fuel system analysis in progress. Diagnosing. No failures detected. Okay. I burnt something in my own ship, apparently. Is that it? The ship's Vox system is in need of thorough calibration. Meet with the Vox Master on the bridge to discuss the matter. Okay. Is there like skill checks that I need to be aware of? Let's just quick save. Lord Captain, the ship informed me of our imminent meeting. My personal log states that the ship's Vox system is malfunctioning. The Vox system is functioning as expected and no communication problems have been reported by any of the crew. Please allow me to check the system's calibration settings in your presence to alleviate any concerns you may have. The Vox Master's thin fingers dart between hundreds of wires and cables on the control panel, flipping switches and turning dials. She issues commands and methodically checks the lines of communication with the crew on every deck. At last, accompanied by the sound of static, the crackling of the vox, and the flickering of the signaling lights, the dance of her hands concludes. All finished, Lord Captain. No issues detected. The system is working as expected. Okay. What is this all about? The Forgotten Twin system is of particular interest to the rogue trader. Certain matters demand the rogue trader's personal attention. Okay, I don't know where this quest is going to lead us, but we'll just get to that planet once we finish Draconis, which, I mean, other than a bunch of dialogue and stuff, there is no combat, as far as I remember. But there will be a shit ton of dialogue, that's for sure. Oh right, there's also Jay's companion quest. Okay. Yeah, this might take a good solid 40 minutes or something to do. But we'll get through it. The Emperor protects. Welcome home, your lordship. I am Clementa Wersarian, court chancellor of the von Valancius dynasty. On behalf of all Draconis, please accept my deepest condolences on the untimely passing of Theodora. Her departure is a terrible blow to us all, but as one star expires, another always flares to life. And although still overcome with bitterness and grief, your subjects hope that you will become the Trade Dynasty's guiding light in these trying times. Achilles Scalander, Secretary of the Administratum Department, I hope your journey to Draconis was not darkened by unwanted troubles. The Emperor protected us in our journey through the stars, and may he remain merciful to us till the end. Does your lordship wish to survey the grounds, or perhaps we could sate your curiosity by answering any questions you might have? Governor Urban Drivestem has been notified of your arrival and will visit the palace shortly. The preparations for the official visit are well in hand, but your lordship has plenty of time before the meeting. Hold on. Clementia? What did you say your last name was? You heard correctly, your lordship. I am the House Wersarian, Lord Ablard's granddaughter and direct descendant. The succession of service is an effective good. It's grant new generations understanding of their function within the mechanism. Okay. I would like to rest before the meeting. Where are my chambers? They are very close, just down the hall. That is also where the study and the audience chamber are. Lady Theodora's study has remained locked since her last departure, but on account of your arrival, we've arranged for it to be tidied up. It is ready whenever you may need it. Okay, you are dismissed. I apologize for my bluntness, but I have a request to make. Perhaps before the meeting takes place, the illustrious Lord Captain could spare a few minutes for a conversation with me. I am certain that you will find my report on the state of affairs in von Valancius Protectorate most useful. Okay. We'll check in with her. Once we're in the palace, I think. Anything to loot before we go in?
The Emperor gave me a vision.
Okay. Tech use. Can I pass this? Alright, nice, nice. There's a bunch of free XP that we should probably take advantage of. If we just do a lap around the city real quick. Just checking all the corners and then we'll head to the palace. Lore Imperium. I'm not really working on that on the main character, but there is a chance to pass it, right? Perfect. Did we just level? No. The sound cue made it sound like we leveled. Okay. I see a chest, but we probably failed some kind of awareness check. That's fine. Okay, that should be everything. Welcome, your lordship. Let me inform you of the location of the chambers on your dynastic estate. Okay. The main throne room is up the stairs, and straight ahead your subject, Achilles Scalander, has informed me that you humbly await the opportunity to meet with you there. Okay. If your lordship wishes to rest after your long journey, then your personal chambers are up the stairs and on the right. Okay. I think it's safe to skip this. There's nothing going on here. Just a bunch of formalities and whatnot, you know. I am already familiar with the palace somewhat. Might have missed something in my first playthrough, but I'm pretty sure it covered everything. Whenever the wearer moves through a cell occupied by an enemy, so this is good for like an assassin. I don't really have one, because I hate playing with the assassins. It's all about looking for openings, and they have a weird mechanic, really. A melta weapon. I don't use those, really. Not yet, at least. Okay. Right, so this is where the secret ending puzzle is, in this very room. And I have my notes here somewhere for the solution. There we are. Once we finish looting everything, ooh. Tech use, damage for plasma. We'll definitely give this to Pascal. Whenever the wearer hits an ally with an area attack, the wearer gains a stack of zealot. Deals more damage with their area attacks for each stack of zealot. I think both of them will go to Pascal. I like using the plasma AoE stuff. Okay, so we sit here. Then the first thing you do is you have a glass of wine, and you select the Flame of Purity, which is the third option. The wine fills the glass, glittering in the dim light of the room like liquid gold. Its tangy flavor burns your throat, leaving behind a spicy, biting aftertaste. Faint hum as unseen motor stirs into motion. This is like your indication that you're pick the right choice. And then next you pick a book. Litanies of the Motive Force. As you pick up the book, a hidden button in its spine clicks under your finger. And then the last thing is you choose the Symphony of Honor and Duty, Part 2. The music in the speakers momentarily grows louder, filling the entire room, then goes back to normal, seemingly without any change. The room responds to your actions with a quiet grinding stone, and a small nook reveals itself in the nearby wall. Inside you find a databank bearing the Von Valancius coat of arms. So this is the item you need for the secret ending, and then that leaves one other step on the Kiavagama planet, and I'm not sure if the ending will be even allowed for a Dogmatic playthrough, but we'll just get the steps out of the way for just the viewer's interest if they want to do it, you know. It's not hard, it's just missable. You could screw this up or you're not in the mood to do the puzzles. These puzzles are not particularly done well in my opinion, because the clues are not very clear. All of them I've done just through trial and error, which takes a lot of time. It's not fun for a viewer to see. Hence why I have notes on the side. So, just finished loading a few things. And I think we have to check with Heinrichs over here. Quick save for potential checks and stuff like that. The slender figure, clad in robes made from expensive fabric, shudders from violent coughing, pressing a gilded respirator to his face. The man takes several deep breaths. Achilles, it's been many moons. I hope your cousin is feeling well. She is in good health. She sends her regards to you as well as her wishes for your swift return. For as long as the stars shine in the sky, my vigil continues. So it does. Is there a reason for this ill-mannered behavior, Heinrichs? Perhaps you two could find another time to discuss personal matters. Do you two mind? My apologies, Magnus. Given the break in the communications between systems and the Expanse, it has been difficult or become difficult to maintain contact with agents. Receiving this report and assessing the situation is my primary responsibility. Allow me to introduce Achilles Scalander properly. In addition to his duties as Secretary of the Administratum, he acts as an agent of the Golden Throne under my aegis. Master Scalander was transferred into my remit by a colleague who is engaged in other matters in the Coronis Expanse. I'm sure you will find Achilles' service useful, especially when dealing with schemes of humanity's foes within the borders of your protectorate. Greetings, Lord Magnus. Allow me once again to express my deepest condolences to the loss of Lady Theodora. I will do everything I can to track down and destroy all of Conrad's accomplices on the capital world. Okay. You promised me a report on the present state of affairs. I have already forwarded all official reports to your Senescal. As for the conversation we're having right now, I wouldn't trust any paper or data slate with its contents. You see, Lady Theodora, may the Emperor have mercy on her soul, was perfectly aware of Darkonis' political environment. You, however, have only just arrived on the capital world, and I thought it would be best to bring you up to speed. Frankly, the nobles of Darkonis, much like the nobles on most worlds, are akin to spiders in a jar, ready to pounce on whoever is the weakest. Okay. The nobles of Darkonis are well-respected, rich and powerful individuals who hold Lady Theodore's favor for many years and found ways to rise above the rest of the diligently serving the rogue trader. Every family pursues its own selfish interests, and each one expects that with the transition of power, they will retain and even add to their lands and wealth. The families I would recommend giving particular attention to are the Drivestems, the Capraks, and the Sourbacks. I should also mention the Worsarians, not a noble house per se, but a family that was part of Lady Theodore's inner circle, to the Blue Bloods' great displeasure. I already know about them, so I'm not gonna go through them. Enough about the nobles. Was there anything else you wanted to report? There was, your lordship, and this time it concerns the main reason for my presence on this planet, Xenos and the threat they pose both to you and to humanity as a whole. The last few months have been difficult for the people who report to me, my eyes and ears, scattered throughout the Coronis expanse. Warp disturbances, astropaths overcome with madness, ships disappearing in the immaterium. Many of my observers and contacts have gone dark or have been killed by some calamity or other. Still, I managed to establish communication with some key individuals who were able to warn me about incoming threats, including Xenos raids. It is within my power to supply you with intelligence on where and when the Xenos will strike. I do not doubt the Governor Drivestem will beg you for protection against the Xenos, and in this fight the information from my contacts will serve you well. I beseech you, Magnus, if I ever report a threat looming over a ship or a planet, do not dismiss it. Sometimes it takes an intervention from the rogue trader and his mighty void ship to avert a disaster. So basically what he's saying is there will be ambushes on certain solar systems, and we gotta attend those or risk negative effects of some sort. What are the responsibilities? Do you know anything about what has become of Conrad? We could ask about that. Word of his treason reached Darkonis too late. Conrad came to the planet and left it almost immediately. Once he had sown discord in the minds of the gullible and naive. The worst of the rumors he started was that you were the one responsible for Lady Theodore's sudden demise. Of course, your loyal subjects did their best to skin alive any who showed signs of doubt, but it seems unlikely that the Wardens got to everyone who has allowed doubt into their heart and now nurtures it in secret. Right, let's take our leave. According to the message I received a few minutes ago, Governor Drivestem has arrived at court. I imagine that the Chancellor is already prepared to arrange the meeting. All that's left is to notify her that you are ready to see Urband. Okay. And now we can just talk to her. The governor's waiting on the periphery of the palace. Please let me know when you would like to see him. And we failed in an awareness check. That's fine. Okay, let's just see him. I shall arrange for him to be escorted to your study. 2 hours passed. The time that passes you should not really worry about. Unlike Kingmaker and Pathfinder, or what's it called, Path of the Righteous games, where time is kind of sensitive, here's not very much so. Magnus, 20th in his line, rogue trader, keeper of the sacred warrant, and ruler of the Cronus expanse from the Cranach system to the 100 Dreams crossroads, I bid you welcome. Urban Drivestem, governor of this great world, first and foremost, please accept my deepest condolences. It will be difficult to recover from the loss of a woman as great as Theodora. It pains me to think that she is no longer with us. The citizens of Darkonis and of the entire Protectorate grieve alongside you. Please allow us to declare half a year of mourning so that we can honor the memory of our beloved. Okay, do as you see fit. I will immediately give all necessary instructions to your lordship. He casually presses a few buttons on the cogitator. Esteemed Magnus, Lady Theodora was a strong leader, and we ought to follow her example. Let us lean on her wisdom and preserve in spite of this tragedy, and let us carry on where she no longer can, by leading the von Valencia's Protectorate to even greater prosperity. Alas, it won't be any easy task. Some time ago, the astropaths of Darkonis flew into rage, and they had to be subdued. We are gradually restoring our ability to speak with our neighboring worlds, but the contacts are still weak, and the routes are tangled and no longer lead to the systems that the captains expect them to. Given that the vast majority of the ships Darkonis Navy travel without relying on the services of a navigator. Without your engagement, the well-being of the von Valencius dynasty and billions of its subjects is presently at risk. What exactly the nobility expect from me? I would like to complete my inauguration. I don't think this affects much, but we'll go through it quickly. Lord Voigtver visited the capital some time ago, but he did not request a personal meeting. A heretic, you say? Now I see where all the whispering in the corridors has come from. I shall be frank with you, your lordship. Lady Theodora's sudden death was a blow to everyone, and the absence of any sort of verifiable and complete information about her successor gives grounds for all manner of rumors and misinterpretations, especially if someone is deliberately inciting unrest and discontent. Naturally, none would dare challenge you by accusing you of something as sacrilegious as murdering the rogue trader. However, Conrad was once a true boon to the Protectorate back in the day, and as such, some might heed his words. Okay, we can pick up some dogma points. Subject all who had dared to make heretical remarks about the rogue trader to servitude in perpetuus, something like that, I don't know. Machines are prone to dissidence. That gave us 4 points. Cool. I shall immediately make all the arrangements so that your order can be carried out properly. What exactly do the Darkonis nobility expect from me in light of the loss of routes and communication with other worlds? We are all troubled by the fate of the agri-world Janus that supplied Darkonis and other planets with foodstuffs. Empty stomachs can drive even the mildest travel to revolt. Furthermore, House Caprak is perturbed by the loss of communication with the industrial world Kiavagama, which is in their charge. But if you wish to know my opinion, the world that deserves your attention the most is the penal world Viabas 6, one of the key mining suppliers in your protectorate. Such intrigue and concern for the Viabas 6 outpost. Does your house happen to own extraction stations there? Your lordship, I beg of you, do not interpret my words as an attempt to influence your decisions in any way. Without Viabas 6, the manufactorums on your worlds will need to make haste to find new suppliers elsewhere and arrange for new shipments, and in these troubling times, they run the risk of delays and other most tragic mishaps. My only concern is the prosperity of the von Valencius dynasty. Okay, that does it for the planets and the trade routes. What else? Xenos, your lordship. I don't rightly know where to begin. Otherworldly beasts are not an uncommon sight in the Coronis expanse. They have been a menace to the worlds this side of the Maw for decades. But now these abominations are on the rampage. They show no signs of fear as they attack ships, either damaging them to the point where they become unfit for transport duty or outright gutting them. Only you have the power to stop this madness. We are in the process of restoring astropathic choir of Darkonis. Luckily, we were forced to slay only some of the deranged psychers, although those that remain are yet unable to transmit messages. I hope Master Scalander will keep his word and offer you his support in the war against the Xenos. According to his reports, the region of the Viaba 6 has been of particular concern in the last few cycles, which is all the more reason to discover the colony's fate as soon as possible. Now, to issue on a smaller scale, there is a certain degree of tension in the capital due to the unorthodox succession to the Sacred Warrant. Chances of uprisings are minimal, of course, and the spreading of rumors is nothing but a sign of weakness of mind and spirit. Nonetheless, I have prepared a list of minor houses that have demonstrated unseemingly discomposure at your succession. What is to be done about them? Yeah, let's just let them be. A noble decision, your lordship. Let us hope that others do not mistake your magnanimity for weakness. And one last thing, your lordship, your inauguration as bearer of the Sacred Warrant is but a matter of time, and I would like to inquire about the crucial detail. I imagine you are intending to upholding the centuries-old tradition, bolstered by an equally long-lasting friendship, of being represented on the Darkonis by one of the noble houses. I presume that, as far as before, this duty will be accorded to House Drivestem. So his house, basically. Yeah, no need to alter any traditions. We'll just keep it going. I never doubted your lordship's decision. I can tell that the future holds a fruitful partnership for us and prosperity for all Darkonis. I shall immediately relay all your orders. Most gracious rogue trader, may the gold of the throne illuminate your path. Okay. Just quickly check. I would like to complete blah blah blah. Okay, yeah. Thank you for your time, your lordship. Since duty calls, I shall take my leave. May the Emperor be with you. Okay. That covers the palace. Now that only thing left to do is to do Jay's side quests, right? How come I don't have it here somewhere? Interesting. We'll just go back to the ship and talk to her, I guess. See about her quest, because it is on the same planet, but it's on a different location. So we have to board the ship and select that destination. Just go through a few dialogues, come back to the palace to advance the quest, and then we get to visit the other planets to complete the quest. So 2 birds with 1 stone type situation. Terrible news from Darkonis, Lord Captain. The subsidiary Hive City, I can't pronounce that, has been destroyed in a series of cascading failures. Production has halted and millions of people have broken their vows of obedience and are fleeing. Many of them are perishing in the wastelands and overloading the transport lines leading to the neighboring hives. The surrounding residential sectors are becoming increasingly agitated by the influx of refugees. What is your directive regarding the distribution of these refugees? This is a scenario for the projects that I'm going to have to do for this world, so paying attention to it is kind of worth it. You could also, every time you encounter a scenario like this, add more options in case these don't suit you. So we could quickly just ask our advisors, aka our companions. The death of Achilles' agents troubles me. It may not be a coincidence until the causes of the disaster can be concretely established. I would avoid letting refugees into other hives. There may be saboteurs among them. I recommend setting up prohibitive cordons where the refugees can be contained in the wastelands between the hives. The Emperor bids us to face the often cruel strokes of fate with dignity. If the other hives do not wish to accept the unfortunate victims of this tragedy, then let the victims themselves teach those living in the hives a lesson in resilience and humility. I'm sure that the ecclesiarchy will aid the refugees in constructing camps to survive out the wastelands and establish a community of proud desert-dwelling martyrs. Such harsh conditions will be a crucible of fortitude and fearlessness. This tragedy of a feat of spirit. We could force them to open the gates, or follow Argenta's recommendation, or Heinrich's. I'm leaning towards Argenta's suggestion here. So, he who dares to remain deaf to the pleas of the destitute shall be branded a traitor to the faith. Large labor settlements were set up. Okay, this took some time. We're up to set up around the ruins of Scipion something, to where the refugees from the wastelands and neighboring hives have been rounded up, and the harsh wastelands scorched with industrial poison, with only a bare modicum of food and clean water. The settlement residents began the arduous and dangerous task of rebuilding their fallen home. Many of the ecclesiarchy's priests sought to share in this burden with the poor souls coming to their villages and preaching to them about the righteousness of hard work. Some pastors have even chosen to stay in the camps permanently, where the desert cults of Aconite martyrs have begun to gather around them, glorifying the Lord Captain for granting them the right to suffer for the glory of the Emperor. And as for our first project, I am seeking passives, free passives. One of them being +5 bonus to all their skills. Definitely going for that. I hope it just doesn't lock something very good in the future, but passives are always what you want to aim for usually. And just take a quick glance at my options here. Some of them give you reputation with some factions, along with gear. This is what I'm after, really. This will help me with my void ship combat. Essentially, give me like a ship that accompanies me in every battle and will act as a distraction and possibly sometimes kill stuff for you. You can't control that other ship, but on unfair, I would imagine it'll come in handy, because on my first playthrough on daring difficulty, the void ships were already hard, and so far I've avoided most of them on unfair. I want to unlock this and then tackle the easiest battles and then just go from there. But let's just quickly see. We're just missing supplies, which we can gather easily. And then as soon as we do that, we'll start the project. However, I want to check with Jay's quest, as I mentioned before. So we'll be quick about it.